I've got to be honest with you. I think the time has come. G'day, Andrew Sill from Flat Out RC Magazine here, and I have to have a serious chat with you today. And some of you are going to like what I have to say, and some of you aren't going to like what I have to say. Now, if you've been reading Flat Out RC, namely issue 9, currently out on sale, you would have read in the editorial section that I was actually reviewing the viability of the magazine. Now we're 2.5 years down, so I think I'm in a pretty good position to determine whether there's a future for the magazine, we can keep it afloat, and what it all looks like. And so I've made a decision, and that decision is issue 10, the next edition of Flat Out RC, will be the final edition of this wonderful magazine. Now, it's not a decision that I took lightly. I had to consider a lot of different things, both financial and also from a time point of view. What I've come to the conclusion is that the state of the Australian industry, hobby industry, is not great in the aero modelling space. It's actually declining. We all have heard of those stories about hobby shops closing down. And the shops that are there aren't making the same kind of money that they used to. Now, how does that affect a magazine? Well, they just don't have the money to invest in marketing activity such as advertising in a magazine. Now, if any of you have run a magazine before, you know that advertising is critical revenue to keep the bills paid. So at the moment, it's very, very hard to find advertisers, and I just can't see a future in getting more. So our decline in the hobby, our decline in the participation is really impacting our ability to produce a magazine. So we actually don't make any money out of it. I've been paying for this magazine to be produced, to pay for the printing bill, to keep this going on the shelf, to see if we can get it go. Now, look, I never thought I was going to make a lot of money out of producing a hobby-based magazine, but I was hoping that it could add a little bit to my bank balance. But it hasn't eventuated, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. We've spoken to all of our advertisers, and they have been awesome. We have the best bunch of advertisers in the magazine. We just don't have enough of them, which is a problem. So I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm not going to blame anybody because it's my decision as to whether I want to do this or don't want to do it, whether I want to spend money on it or I don't want to spend money on it. And I've just made the decision. I don't want to spend any more money on it at the moment. I've been trying really hard to engage with the industry, and to be frank, it's extremely difficult. They either don't return your phone calls, they don't return your emails, and they're just really not that supportive of a magazine anymore. So we gave it our best shot, and I'm very, very proud of the 9 issues that we've already produced, and the last one is going to be exactly the same. So we're really working hard to try to get another edition out that is going to keep the standard up. Now, there's another side to it as well, that producing a magazine like this is not easy. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I'm pretty much a one-man band, except for a few helpers. Now, I'm going to mention some of those helpers because they're legends. So I do the majority of the writing. I've got a great guy by the name of Cosmo Mortius, who you may have met before. You've seen his writings in the magazine. He's actually designed the magazine, and he's worked for free, every issue. Give him a few products here and there to help him out. But the guy's been busting his gut to get this magazine looking the way that it is. So Cosmo and I have really worked together to determine whether we continue with this or not, because we're both dedicating a lot of time into the magazine to get it out to you guys. So we've just made the decision at this stage in our lives. We're busy, we have families. I run a marketing agency day to day. Cosmo has a full-time job. It's just getting too hard, and it's taking us away from areas that we probably should be spending more time. So things like our families, our work, and those kind of things. So it's taking us just a lot of time, and we're not getting the support that we need from other contributors to spread the load. But we do have some. Peter Ricks, we've got Paul Krause, Brian Winch, and I'll get to Brian Winch in a minute, but Brian Winch, we had Dominic Aisu helping with building planes, Ido Sega helping with flying planes, and all these guys really helped out as volunteers. And so I'd love to be able to pay them, but there just isn't any money going around. But they've done it of their own accord, and we really appreciate their efforts. So we've tried our best. We've tried to put the team together to get it going. We've all worked as volunteers to get this magazine up and running for the Australian hobby industry, and it's been difficult. Now, I know what you're thinking. The MAAA could have maybe helped out and other people like that. But you know what? They don't need to. I'm not looking for anyone to save the magazine, and we can't rely on one person, one organisation, one association to keep such a publication going. The MAAA have helped out, they've advertised in the magazine, they're doing their own marketing activity, and it's their choice as to where they spend their money, not mine. And I'm thankful that they did jump on board. Had a great chat with Neil Tank, got a lot of respect for Neil Tank, got a lot on his plate trying to lead an organisation like the MAAA. It's going to come to an end. Now, what does that mean? For those of you that are subscribers, I'm going to pay you back for magazines that will not be delivered to you. So you will get the next edition, and everybody else will be contacted in one way or another. So whether it be by email or a phone call, you'll be hearing from us, and we'll grab those bank details and we'll reimburse you for the money. And I want to do that. Some people are saying you don't need to do that, but no. I want to be able to hold my head high and leave this little expedition on a high note and make sure that I've earned the respect of everybody around me, because I'm going to see you at flying events and I don't want you to talk behind my back. A few people to thank, and get the next edition of Flat Out RC. Issue 10 will be out in November, and I've written already the piece explaining more in detail. But there's some people I want to thank, because first of all, I've got a great bunch of advertisers. This magazine actually started, or a lot of the research started with a chat between myself and Mike O'Reilly from O'Reilly Model Products, who is Australia's biggest distributor of aero modelling product. And he's a great man. I highly respect him. He's a good business guy, and he threw his support behind me. So I want to thank the whole O'Reilly Model Products organisation / Model Flight for really throwing product my way, advertising every single edition from the start. I really, really appreciate it, and urge all of you to go and purchase your products from Model Flight and O'Reilly Model Products and that kind of thing. So they've been awesome. Desert Aircraft Australia, Ian, Mark, you guys have been excellent as well, and I really appreciate the support. Mario at RCGF, he's a member of my club, so I love Mario. He's an awesome bloke. You should be buying RCGF engines from him, and he really loves the hobby. He really loves the engines, and they're great quality engines. Trust me, I've owned them, I've flown them, and they are great. And Mario, top bloke. So really appreciative of Mario. Eddie Edwards, RC World, thank you. You've been there from almost the start. You've been very close, good friend, and I really appreciate your support. MAAA, Tyson at MAAA, Neil Tank, thanks for your support as well. Running out, not that many other advertisers. We've had a few along the way, but I really want to thank those guys that are hanging in there until the very end, been there from the start. So really, really appreciative of you guys. I mentioned Brian Winch's name. Now, Brian, as many of you may be aware, has passed away. He passed away a number of weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago now. And that's a very big loss. Brian was a friend of mine. I'd been talking to Brian about magazines for probably the past 4 to 5 years. So way before I started, more than that actually, probably close to 5 to 6 years I've been speaking to Brian about a hobby magazine. And we really threw around ideas of what a hobby magazine needed to be. Now, I'm very, very proud to say that Brian loved Flat Out RC. He was a really big supporter. He used to ring me up and tell me how he was telling all of his mates, and he'd go to flying events and he'd show them copies of Flat Out RC, and he was an awesome contributor and a massive loss to our hobby. I don't think we'll really appreciate it, how much we will miss him, because the knowledge that man had was amazing. Now, I spoke to him and said, Brian, I want to capture the knowledge that's in your head about model engines and share that with the world. And I'm proud to say we've done that. We actually went from the start of from the front end of an engine right to the back. And I said to him, just write articles about problem solving so that people know how to solve their own problems. And very sad to see him go, but on the upside, we do have this document now. This knowledge has been documented in his quirky writing. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I had to edit it. And there were bits that I had to chop out because they were too raunchy sometimes. But anyway, he's a great bloke. And all of his articles in Flat Out RC are now available online. If you go to the Flat Out RC website, I'm giving them out for free. And you may have seen it on our Facebook page and so on. So please go and grab it and learn from Brian so that his knowledge is not lost. So please, thank you, Brian. Please read his articles. Keep that knowledge and share that knowledge. So we love you, Brian, and we're going to miss you heaps. Now, where to for Flat Out RC as a brand? Well, I don't think I'm going to totally fade away. The magazine's going to stop because we just can't keep it going. But I'll still be active on some social media, shoot a few videos here and there on the YouTube channel when I go to events and things like that. Our Instagram page is going really, really well. We're one of the highest, most popular Australian aeromodelling faces on Instagram. Actually, around the world, we're doing pretty well with it. So I'll continue to foster that and take some photos because I enjoy doing that. But really what I want to do is I just want to get back to flying. I've hardly done any flying in 2.5 years. I've got a whole bunch of airplanes that need to be finished. I just want to go flying, enjoying the hobby. And just as a parting note, yep, it's not doom and gloom. Things change and life is a journey, and this journey for me, as far as publishing a magazine, is going to end. And that's okay. I'm not sad about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm not worried about what everybody will think about me as a result of stopping the magazine. These things just happen, and we've seen other magazines fall by the wayside, and it's not because we didn't try. Everybody tried and made an effort. It's just that sometimes reality comes into play, which is that you just can't keep it going. And so that's the reality. So I just want to thank everybody that has supported me along the way. The thing that kept me going was all the kind words from you guys out there telling me that you're really enjoying the magazine, and that really kept us going here. Like, we were really proud to put smiles on people's faces, and we really worked hard at it. You know, that the quality of the magazine, the quality of the photographs, the quality of the layout was something that I don't think we'd seen for a while in the Australian landscape, and I think we can hold our head up and say that we did a pretty damn good job at it. So I'm going to leave on a high. I'm going to be at Shepparton this weekend at the Shepparton Mammoth Scale Flying. So come and say hello, because my work's not done. I'm going to be taking photographs. I'm going to shoot a video. We're going to put an article in the magazine on it. So I'm looking forward to 2 days at Shepparton, one of the best events. Now, if you want to find out more about the Shepparton Mammoth Scale Flying, valleyradioflyers.com.au. I did the website for them. So go and have a look at the Valley Radio Flyers website. All the information's on there. You can see where to go. Caramomus, I can't remember the name of the road. Anyway, go to their website and have a look. Check out on our Facebook page. I'll put another post up towards the weekend about the flyer. It shows the address and everything, but I hope to see you there. Now, thank you everybody. I really, really thank everybody for the support. Anybody that bought the magazine, thank you very much. If you didn't, you should have bought one. Actually, it's not too late. Just get onto the Flat Out RC website, flatoutrc.com.au, and you can buy back issues, except for issue 4, which is sold out. But all the others are available. So thanks to everybody that support us along the way. Thanks for the kind words. We hope to see you at a flying event soon. Just get out there, guys. Have a fly. Don't worry about the future of the hobby. It will be okay. It will sort itself out. Just go and enjoy flying.
What we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited